If you guys didn't know, I just started my brand new Fortnite channel where I upload Fortnite tips, updates, best moments, and more. If you guys play Fortnite, be sure to click that link down in the description, go over there, and subscribe. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to the Call of Duty World War II video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about this new M38 SMG, which came out yesterday. I showed gameplay of it and all that sort of stuff, and I'm basically playing with it now in a real match and giving you guys a best class up for this weapon, because I do think this weapon is quite good. It just has to be used for its strengths. It has a lot of weaknesses, but it also has a lot of strengths, and if you play around those, this gun can be very, very powerful in Call of Duty World War II. I love this set of DLC weapons, probably my favorite, because both of them are very good and very usable for a tryhard like myself, the MG81 as well as this SMG, the M38. So I'm definitely very, very excited about that. If you guys could drop a like on this video, that would be absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and go for 89 likes. That would be amazing. So much new stuff came out, and there's just so many new heroics, new weapons. I still have to do a class up for the new LMG, and I'm probably going to even maybe do another supply drop opening, because it really does look like the odds are very good in this game, at least right now. And you know, a lot of content to come out, you know, throughout this week and this weekend, so I'm very excited about that. Smack the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Let's talk about it. So first thing about this weapon that you'll notice is that this is an up close and personal weapon. At medium range, this thing is very, very weak, and it'll feel like you're shooting a Nerf gun. It's one of those similar to the Type 100, I would say. Even feels a little bit weaker at range than the Type 100. The thing about this weapon is you have to capitalize on the strengths and go in with the strengths, and the strengths of this weapon are up close and personal. It has decent hip fire, and it aims down sight faster than any of the other SMGs. So I'm going to double down on the strengths and use this weapon as one where you basically want to get up close right beside them and finesse them by basically running routes in their spawns, cycling around in their base. That's how you want to use this weapon. First of all, I know people are going to ask, so I want to cover how do you get this weapon. As of right now, I think in the future there's going to be some sort of special order or contract or way to unlock this weapon. I don't think there is right now, at least I couldn't find it on the game. What I've seen is that you can buy it from the collection. It's cost about 20,000 armory credits, and like I've said, if you're an SMG player, if you play up close and personal, I think it's worth it. Or you can just open supply drops and get lucky, and that's how I was able to get it. This is the epic homestead variant of the weapon, so this isn't the one that you get if you buy it from the collections. If you buy it from the collections, you get like the Irish variant of it, or whatever. I personally just opened supply drops, and I was lucky enough, you know, finally my luck came around. I think it has something to do with the new supply drop system in this game, where they basically, you're gonna get way less duplicates now, and it really is true from what I've seen from my opening. You guys should check that I uploaded yesterday, but that's how I was able to get this weapon. So not everyone has a chance at this weapon right now. I mean, everyone does have a chance, but not everyone is going to have it. But I think in the future, if you guys play the game a lot, you should have 20,000 armory credits. It does seem like a lot, but I've seen that people that, you know, play the game consistently on Twitter the other day, I saw a bunch of people who had over 100,000, and even one guy, Immortal Resistance, he has like 350,000 armory credits, and he says he just, you know, play the game every day. That's what these people are doing. It's absolutely crazy. So that's how you can unlock this weapon. So let's talk about the playstyle for it and the best class. First thing about this weapon is you're going to want to play up close and personal, but personally I find that the silencer on this weapon increases the muzzle flash and makes it just feel a lot weaker, and it's already one that feels fairly weak at range. So to double down on its strengths, do not use the silencer. That's what I say as far as this. So the class setup, of course, you're going to start off with the airborne. I think that is probably self-explanatory. Pretty much every single class setup with SMGs is going to have airborne. It seems like it's a while since I have done a class setup video in this game because we haven't got new weapons for a while, but you always want to be rocking with the airborne. There's a few times where you can get away with infantry. I just find that airborne and being able to move fast is a key, because this game does feel sort of slow-paced at times if you don't have that airborne. Being able to run fast, run for longer distances definitely is very helpful. As far as the class setup, I'm going to have two attachments on this gun, and the two attachments I'm going to run are going to be, the first one is going to be the grip, and the second one is going to be the quick draw. Now the reason why I run this, number one, this gun already has the fastest aim down sight in class, so you might think, okay, you don't really need quick draw, which I guess would be true, but how I feel with this gun is I throw on quick draw and I feel like an absolute machine when I'm running through the spawns, and that's why with the quick draw on this gun, you're basically able to aim down sights literally in a split second, millisecond, and even people, if they get the jump on you or whatever, the way that this gun aims down sight so fast with the quick draw as well as its default stats definitely doubles down on that aspect. You can pretty much beat any SMG, or you actually can beat any SMG up close as long as you're securing the first shot by doing that. Second attachment, grip, is fairly self-explanatory. This gun does have, I'd say the recoil, it'd be about a medium, maybe a 6 out of 10 on the recoil scale. So grip is pretty much a necessity on most SMGs in this game. There's some where you can get away with it without using it. I think this is one where you want to be safe and you want to run grip. You want to make sure you're not missing those shots, and that's why I choose that as my second attachment. As far as my perk goes, or the basic training as it's called in this game, which is essentially just your perk, basic train, I'd like to see some sort of like a revamp to this system as well. They've shown that they can do it. I'll talk about that in a second after I finish the class up. But my basic training is going to be hunker, just for the fact that the maps you're going to want to use this gun on. It's kind of unique that I got a decent gameplay here on this map on the forest, because this is a larger map. You're going to want to use this on maps like Point du Hoc, London Docks, Flak Tower, you know, your traditional SMG maps, and that's where hunker is going to come into handy, or not even handy, it's pretty much a requirement. That's why I run with that. Secondary, I just rocked with the machine pistol, although I did unlock a new Reich revolver, which I'm going to try to level up soon, as well as the Semtex grenade, or the N74ST, which is basically the sticky grenade in this game. That's the class that I rock with this gun. And as far as playstyle, you want to make sure every engagement is literally right up in their face. The range on this gun is somewhere between the range of, you know, some of a more longer range SMG or a rifle, and between a shotgun. You don't want to be up close as a shotgun, which, I mean, it's fine as long as they don't have a shotgun, but if you're going to do that, you might as well just rock a shotgun, even though they're so weak in this game after the combat shotgun nerf. But you want to be at that little bit where it's sort of blurred lines between close range and medium range. That's about the max range you want to go, and that's where you can pick people off, you know, in that 15 feet range or somewhere around there. But as far as the class setup, that's the complete class setup for this gun: hunker, airborne, quick draw, grip. The only issue you'll come across with this class is possibly having to reload. You only have 30 bullets. I find that you don't run through the bullets as fast as you would think, and the thing with the reload time is just make sure you're reloading after every kill, and make sure you don't let the clip empty out, because if you go down to 0, the reload time is a lot longer than if, for example, you have 10 bullets left. So just make sure you're being safe and reloading every single time. That's about the only issue you could run across with this class setup, and then if your play style is right, that's how it would work. But talking about basic trainings, they've shown that they can revamp the supply drop system, that they can revamp different things in this game. I would love for them to revamp the basic training and maybe make it so you can give up your secondary and your pistol. If you give up your secondary attachment and your pistol, or maybe if you give up another attachment on your primary or something like that, where you could run a second basic training, I think that would be absolutely amazing. Because one of the problems with the class setup system in this game, which is the division setup, is that there's not that much customization, because you're basically stuck between airborne and infantry, which are the two main try-hard divisions. And then as far as your basic training, you're usually going to want to go with something like primed or hunker or ordnance. You know, there's only a couple options there out of those 20 basic trainings, and that's not because all the basic trainings are bad. They're actually all very useful. Well, most of them are useful. Some of them are kind of, you know, hitting a niche market. But since this game has been making so many positive changes, and with this last update and updates before changes to the sprint out time, I don't think this is out of question. I think that this could definitely be an option. I've seen a bunch of people talking about it, and I think if we can keep talking about this and you know talking about it on YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, wherever, Sledgehammer Games has done a good job at listening to the community so far, and at least communicating with the community. And I say a good job, which is relative compared to other Call of Duty developers, which would never talk to the community at all. They would just put out their updates, and people felt really disconnected. Sledgehammer Games has been responding. They've done these weekly blog updates on every single Friday. They've been talking to people via Twitter, via Reddit, and I'm sure they're watching YouTube content and seeing what the people want, because that's YouTube, Twitter, Reddit. Social media is a huge part of Call of Duty, of course, and the people who are the biggest fans usually are fairly active on social media, but you know, talking about the game, hyping it up and different stuff like that. I think that would be probably one of the next steps to making this game one of the best Call of Duties, would be some sort of revamp system to that basic training. I think that would be absolutely amazing, but that's probably a talk for another day. Anyway, that's the class setup for this M38 SMG. I definitely think this is a dope SMG, and I think that it could be in the top 5 for SMGs, as as long as you get that playstyle down and understand what sort of a weapon this is. This is your up close and personal weapon. Even though it doesn't have recoil, you have to use it in that way. So thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, sub for Cookie and Don't Lookie, and I'm out. Peace.